Hi guys. So a lot of people have been inquiring about the intro. The intro is 10 minutes long. So if you want to skip the intro, just skip 10 minutes and it will take you straight to the content. Skip 10 minutes and it will take you 10 minutes, 10 minutes later, go on the 10-minute mark and it will take you straight to the Foodie Beauty content. Thank you.
I don't know, but...
Now, you know what you need, Chantal? You need to get your butt out of the Middle East. You need to go back to Canada, and you need to start living a life that isn't just a big scam. I mean, this is silly. You're going to be 40 years old. You're out here, following some 29-year-old thinking that he's going to love you and marry you and make a life with you and whatever. Girl, come on. He laughs at you. He makes fun of you. Why do you think you're over there with him? Because you guys are living it up? Yeah, you really look like you're living it up. You really look like you're happy. What you need to do is you need to go back to Canada. You need to start putting in hard work. And you need to, if a relationship is really what you want, if that's your end game in life, I know it is for some people. If that's really what you want, someone to love you, someone to call you baby, someone to give you affirmations, whatever. Slow steps. Whatever. Get on the dating apps, work on yourself, get back to a point where you can walk for more than a minute without getting dizzy. That would, if I were in that place, that would be my number one priority. Not who's going to call me baby when I put my head down at night. Girl, come on. You're not going to be able to heal in this environment, let alone thrive. You're talking about energy. You're sitting here telling us how you're about to fall asleep.
So you're getting help. And you want to dunk on Chantel? And that's why I think Shannon and FFG's chemistry is so beautiful, because they're so similar. FFG has to be the hero. That's why she has to always dunk on Chantel with something. Like when she did the thing with BBJ, I stand on this. She did her big one. She did her big one with that one. Especially with the way Chantel was running her mouth talking about FFG's dogs and all. When I saw her pull that off, I said, leave it to Chantel to have me applaud FFG. I was pissed. I was like, oh, this was so good. She trolled the fuck out of you. Oh my God. So, just so we're clear, and you heard it here first. What happened with BBJ? Rescuing BBJ? The BBJ rescue to FFG will be with the 89 LBs are to Amber. You will always hear about it for years to come. Always. That's never going to die. She did her big one. She had to make it public. And for those saying, oh, it was for the money, I think you guys forget, I've said this before, multiple things can be right at once. She did her big one and definitely helped BBJ, because at this point I think almost anybody's better than Chantel. But yes, of course it was for the money. If it wasn't for the money, she wouldn't have made it public. Of course it was for the money. Are you kidding? The bitch held she shopped for BBJ's collar on stream. She shopped for a cat to get a Gucci collar for a cat. Of course it was for money. But I'm not going to take away the fact that, at least she got BBJ. But yes, it was for money. Yes, it was for content. Are you crazy? That is her 89 LBs, bitch. She is never letting that go. That will always be content in some way.
Isms. So, French fried girls should be worried because Chantal was threatening to sue again. Shadowed that she might have returned to Canada to handle some other business, and she would handle that while she was there. I would be terrified if I was French fried girl. So terrified. This is the woman who couldn't even make a vet appointment, and she's going to coordinate a multi-person lawsuit because she felt duped about her cat being given to somebody else, by her to somebody else. But she couldn't tell you who because the selfish bitch wouldn't even walk down the stairs to go say bye. She handed it to Pete's. Again, many reasons we can't follow through with our commitments. So, and Chantal doesn't have much tolerance for distress or discomfort. If something isn't exactly the way she wants to eat it, she's not going to eat it. If it's not the right temperature, she's not going to eat it. So you would think someone as large as her would be much more picky. but or be much less picky. But actually, some of the more morbidly obese people I know are rather picky about their food. And like other folks who deal with addiction, can get pretty nasty if they don't get what they want. How many people think that they've probably fought about food a couple times already? I'm sure he was fine with her coming over, but she farted out a bunch of promises initially that she was I'm gonna go to the gym and lose weight, and it'll be great, and I'll be going to the beach, and we'll be travel beezing. If you're too fat for a plane, you gotta do something. Because now you can't even get out of there in a hurry if you need to. There's no shame in buying 2 plane seats if you need them, but if you don't like that you need them, or that you're cutting it close to needing them, whose job is it to change the shape of Chantal's body? Yours? Mine? A pill? Some Ozempic? No, it comes down to Chantal and what she chooses to do. At this point, she's had more resources and opportunities and access to treatment over the years that most people don't give a shit how she feels, or that she probably can't handle all of her ADLs maybe on her own, because she was always such a nasty, self-centered person that her discomfort brings people pleasure. We've heard of Schadenfreude. It's the same sort of thing.
So we saw some boats pass by while we were hanging out by the riverside, and decided after we were done hanging out by the river to see if we could find a dock and take a boat ride ourselves. On our way,
it was his hard-earned money to try to buy her food that would support her health. And then either she ordered it without him, or he came to reason of, look, I don't love you so much that $250 isn't worth risking your health to me. So if you really love me, Chantal, really, really love me, you'll go on there, eat yourself half to death, and give me the cash. So, I don't know. And she wants privacy. Okay. And where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where's your husband? He's out with the boys. Thailand, from what I understand, has a very, very active sex scene. So, I'm sure he'll text you. But at any rate, this week we're going to... But she's sitting there, not a lot of people around, but it was the old eyes darting. Remember the outhouse? Or going for Burger King and then sitting in the parking lot, full face of makeup, looking all over the place to see who's looking and who's watching. She's out proud and doesn't care, but hawks like she's ashamed of what she's engaging in. So when she's sitting there with Sala eating, and there's people, not a lot of people, because they go everywhere when it's closed. She's afraid of people, and they want to be able to film, and they're weird. They're weird. She likes getting attention, but standing out doesn't really, I think she probably feels like people are staring, because they are staring. It's a spectacle. She's 4 times the size of a normal woman. So I think people are going to stare. That shouldn't be unexpected. Is it rude? Is it cruel? I don't know. Bottom line, it shouldn't be unexpected. And to act shocked would be kind of stupid as well. You've read about it a little bit and saw it on TikTok. Please look better after yourself. Take better care of yourself. If not you, for your husband that you told us you love so much. How much do you love him if you're willing to eat yourself to death because it's too difficult to try to get better beyond 36 hours? If you're not a 12-stepper, but the bondage of self. She's so obsessed with meeting her own wants and needs that she, to her inadvertently, steps on people and hurts people in that way. There's another side of Chantal that is a complete sociopath and pretty much doesn't care about feelings, doesn't know how to act. That's why we had the wedding cake and candles, and she erupted like she was going to shit her pants, because she doesn't know what happiness feels like, so she doesn't demonstrate what it looks like. She doesn't know love. She doesn't know any of those feelings. And so with all this spinning in her head, her marriage on the line, her citizenship being up, she goes on a diet.
One, I'm pretty, okay? That has a lot, and I don't mean that to be conceited. I'm being very matter of fact. Being pretty gets you a lot of privilege. I'm just saying, you can get away with a lot if you're pretty. Number one, I'm pretty.
Okay, guys, so this is the trailer for Femme. It's been released in Europe, but it's out. It's a thriller, and I've seen it. It's a fantastic film. It is out in Spain, and it is out in the US on March the 22nd. So here is the trailer.
Well, you can turn around if you're a fucking man.
You're letting them win.
How do you want to deal with that?
I think you're a nice looking lad. Where you from? I'm a nice guy. If you disrespect me, fuck you up.
You get that? Yeah, I'm the same.
Oh, you know. You a fucking big man. I best remember not to fuck with you then.
Hi guys, and welcome to Taylor Talk. So apparently a friend of Foodie's has a dilemma that she came and spoke with Foodie about and confided in her about her relationship problems. So let's take a look.
So, my friend, her boyfriend was taking a shower, and she just so happened to see like his lock screen on his phone, and there was messages from her. You know how like WhatsApp shows you like a preview on the lock screen? She said that there was like a message from a girl with like big boobs and like a pretty girl, but she couldn't see what it said. And whenever she asked him about it, he grabbed his phone and was like secretive about it, and she said, "Show me what it is and there won't be a problem." And he pretty much told her to F off and wouldn't show her. And then she asked him again later, and he said he deleted the message. So do you guys think that's like sus, or what do you guys think about that? If he's gaslighting her, it's not good news. Apparently, like, she said that he said it was like, he had this number for a while, and it was people from his old work, like customers asking like about stuff. And he has a history of cheating on her. So I was like, wow. I don't know, let me ask Beezers what they think. So what would you guys do? Like, what do you guys think? Like, what should I tell her? Not good? Why do you say that? Exactly. That's what I said. I'm like, if he had nothing to hide, he wouldn't have hurried and deleted the message, right?
Okay, so first off, Foodie says that a friend of hers told her about this situation, but we all know that she has no female friends in Kuwait. She drove off her female friends in Canada, and no woman is actually talking to her about their problems. So we know it's her. Secondly, in my personal opinion, I think Foodie's lying. She's been getting a lot of heat recently for Julia and the FFG remarks, and a good way to brush everything under the carpet is to make up a cheating lie. I think she's lying. I think she got so much heat for the FFG situation and people, begging her to get Julia spayed, that she's lying to deflect. That's what I think, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think she's lying because it's Foodie, and 99.9% of the time, Foodie Beauty is lying. Now, I'll entertain her for a minute and act like it's true. Foodie, why are you looking at your husband's phone when he's in the shower? I mean, if he's working, if he's faithful like he says he is, why are you looking at your husband's phone? And we know that you two don't share bathrooms. So, like, did you go into his room? Did you search his pockets? Did you search his bedroom? Like, how did you find his phone in the first place? It constantly shows that she doesn't trust him. And Foodie said, oh, she had big boobs and oh, she was pretty. And I thought, Foodie, she could have been ugly and she still could have been sleeping with Salah. You know, do I think Salah would lower himself, to sleep with an ugly woman? Yes. Foodie seems to forget that, maybe pretty privilege is blinding her, but Foodie seems to forget that ugly girls date too. Ugly girls also have sex too. Ugly girls also have relationships as well. And it's like, yeah, an ugly girl could have got with Salah. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. Yeah, why not? She also said that the guy, Salah, in inverted commas, deleted the message and said, well, if you've got nothing to hide, why delete the message? And it's like, Foodie, do you really believe that Salah is deleting messages? I mean, if he's not on vanish mode, I do think he's got a lot of conversations and a lot of, WhatsApp chats going on between different women. I mean, let's kind of piece this together. Foodie, he's not sleeping with you. He just touches your cheeks in that weird way and like squeezes your cheeks, laughs at you, laughs at your body, calls you a horror movie villain because your body is so weird. He doesn't find you attractive. He's not sleeping with you. Plus, on top of that, he's got all those weird, sick fantasies going on. So, of course, he's got other women on the go. Other women that he can be physical with. Do you really think he's been celibate for the last 2 years? Do you really think that he hasn't been with another woman in the last 2 years? Because he certainly hasn't been with you, so he's got to have been with somebody else. And the thing is, like, if you think that he hasn't been with one woman in 2 years, you're kidding yourself. You've also got to realise, Foodie, which you already know, is that Salah's main goal is Canada. And Foodie needs to realise that, yeah, Foodie has just turned 40, but she also needs to realise that Salah Al-Sultan is not getting any younger. Currently, he's in his early 30s and he wants to start a new life in Canada. How many more years do you think he's going to waste on you, Chantal? He's already wasted 2 years. 2 years of being your little rent boy and being your little trophy husband while he just throws fast food on the floor and takes you out shopping for and takes you out to eat every now and again and buys you Temu. Like, how many more years do you think he's going to do that? He's already wasted 2 years. A few more years down the line, he'll be in his mid-30s. He's not getting any younger. The clock, like how people say that women have like a biological clock. It's like, I feel like Salah has a Canadian clock. Like, that clock is ticking. He knows he could never get into the US, right? So Canada's his next best bet. And it's a Canada clock. That clock for Canada is ticking. Every second of every day, time is going to go by and he's going to be missing his opportunity to get into Canada. Plus, Salah is always looking for a younger woman that doesn't waste all her money on weed and food. Let's be honest. I think one of the reasons there's so much tension between them is because Salah doesn't understand how Foodie can basically spend hundreds of dollars per week on weed and food and doesn't understand it because he doesn't understand food addictions. So he's just looking at Foodie and the bills that are going on food, the bills that are going on weed and shisha, and being like, how is this possible? You are a human dumpster truck. What the hell is going on? Why are you devouring so much food? Why don't you get other hobbies? so he doesn't understand that either. And because of, a lot of things with Foodie's gluttony, her selfishness, her control issues, her freakouts, it's obvious that Salah is looking for other options. Anybody would in Salah's position. I don't condone cheating. I think he should have left Foodie a year in. I think he should have left her a while ago. But he's obviously looking for other options. How can you expect him not to cheat? Salah is looking for casual hookups and a ticket to Canada. And judging by the, if he gets lucky, he could get both with one woman. Foodie is still trying to delude herself into thinking that he's with her out of love. And I remember in the cheating video, she said, when she found out, she said, I told him, if you fall out of love, just leave. You don't cheat on me. But he was never in love in the first place. The fact that in her mind, she actually thinks that Salah fell for her and then cheated on her, it just shows you the level of delusion. I think she's still on substances. The level of delusion into thinking that Salah was in love with you when he literally calls you a moon face on camera, makes fun of you about your weight, your seatbelt, all of this, how big your face is, and that you're brave for going on a beach run. He's not in love, but keep telling yourself that, Foodie. Let's put romance to one side. Let's just say that Salah and that, beautiful woman with the big chest. Let's just say that beautiful woman and Salah are just friends. Is Salah not allowed to talk to pretty women, Chantal? Do they have to be a 3 out of 10? Do they have to be a 4 out of 10 so that Salah can speak to them? Do you need to look at a woman's picture first and then you need to give him the thumbs up before he can speak to a woman? It's extremely controlling behaviour, and if that's true, you'd get a lot more heat if you were a man. Later on in the stream, she brings up Nader and Didi, and it's clear that she's still bitter about them. Foodie, you always have the option to walk out the door, but continually, you keep on chasing dudes that can't stand you. You'd still be with Nader today if he hadn't have picked Didi. I saw everything on Yabba's stream, and it's hilarious. Yabba's stream, the YouTube Underground, Yabba is fucking hilarious in that stream. So I may put her link in the description, but you know who she is. Go to her channel. She's absolutely hilarious when she covered this. And I agree with Yabba. I think that she should go back to S-Jam. Like Pete's, S-Jam was the only guy that genuinely found her attractive. And in terms of looks, Chantal is equal to him. So Foodie just needs to go back to Canada and date S-Jam. He is in her age bracket. He is Canadian. He speaks perfect English. He probably has a job. I mean, S-Jam is right under your nose. So go back to Canada and go back to him, I think. Okay, and I do think Salah was cheating, but I don't know but I do think she's making this up. Like, both things can be true. Yes, Salah is constantly cheating. Yes, I think Foodie is making up this incident to victimize herself and make herself look like, to victimize herself and go on this poor me tour to get back in with her beezers, I think. So guys, do you think that Foodie is making this whole thing up? Do you think that she's telling the truth and that she found something that Salah didn't want her to find? Let me know in the comments. If you're still here, thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. See you in the next video. Guys, quickly, I just want to show you this quick Foodie clip that proves that she's actually talking about herself. And Salah.
She feels crazy. Like he turns it around on her and says, like, you're being crazy. You're being like suspicious. Like, you don't trust me. That kind of shit. And I was like,
Guys, did you catch that? He says that she's being crazy. He says that she's being paranoid. And I was like, yeah, she's talking about herself in first person. Whereas before she was saying, talking about this other woman, she's talking about the conversation that Salah had with her when she found the WhatsApp conversation and Salah tried to gaslight her and Foodie slips and she said, and I said, yeah, you are trying to and I said, yeah, which means that she said to Salah, yeah, you are trying to gaslight me. You are trying to tell me that this isn't a big deal when it is. She's talking about herself in present tense and in first person, which means that this actually she's happened to her, and Salah did confront her about the WhatsApp message. I hope that made sense, guys. Okay, then this is at the actual end of the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.